Welcome to Envisioned Broadcasting, the station designed to encourage, equip, and empower you for growth and success. Presents Women Emerge with Melissa Lambert, a show that shines a light on spiritual growth, health, purpose, and financial education. It's time to emerge and begin to live out your dreams, walk into your destiny, while making a difference in the lives of many.
Welcome to Women Emerge with Melissa Lambert. I am your host, and it's always an honor and a pleasure to come before you another Thursday. Happy Thursday, everyone. Again, this show is being sponsored by Lambert Legacy Financial, powered by Core Financial Partners. Our goal is to teach the truth about money, engaging individuals and families to think about and plan their legacy. Our focus areas are family, fun, future, and legacy. This show will introduce you to leaders, experts, and motivators who share their journeys and their stories through personal and professional growth, knowledgeable tips, and lessons learned that will empower you to grow. It is time, y'all. It is time to grow your mind, your spirit, your brand, your business, and yes, today, truly, your finance. It's always an honor to have this wonderful man. He is my mentor. He's my leader. He is my partner. And I am so thankful that I have allowed Lambert Legacy to be powered by this amazing company called Core Financial Partner. We have none other than Mr. TonyChamblee. He is the CEO and the president of Core Financial Partners. And I'm just happy to have him come on this show. We're talking about the truth about money, and what better way to really engage you all in the understanding of becoming your own bank. We're going to talk deep into the process to become your own bank using these steps. And the steps that we're going to talk about today is how you're going to earn, how you're going to save, how you're going to borrow from your own bank, spend out of this bank. Not only that, but we want you to repay yourself from this bank. So, Mr. TonyChamblee, thank you again. I'm going to say Tony because we had this conversation earlier like, listen, come on now. We are friends, okay? So drop the mister, and that's what I'm going to do on today because I'm just blessed to have you and Mrs. Chamblee, Latoya, as my mentors in this industry of insurance. That's in finance, you know. So tell us a little bit about, I always ask you about Core Financial Partners because some people have listened to us and some people may have not learned and know anything about Core. So who is Core? What is your mission? What is your philosophy? And what is your vision, bringing this crusade across the United States?
Absolutely. Once again, hello, Melissa. Good to be with you again. Good to have dialogue with you again, and then we can dialogue on my favorite subject, the infinite banking concept. I would absolutely share our mission, also our philosophy and our vision. Our mission at Core Financial Partners is about helping individuals across the country to go from being in survival mode, and then we want to move them up, if that's where they are, to security mode, and then get them to success mode, and then significance. And let me backtrack a little bit. What is survival? That's living paycheck to paycheck. And then security is having 6 months of your income accessible to you. And then success is taking those resources that you saved and put away and buying income-producing assets that take care of your lifestyle, that you have a choice to go work for someone else or even work a business 9 to 5. And then last but not least, significant. That means you pretty much figured it out, and what are you going to do as far as leaving a legacy and sharing it with others? So that's our mission. And everybody's not in the same place, Melissa. Is wherever you are is where we're here to help you get to the next level and to get to the pinnacle of your financial economy in your life, and to be able to leave a generational wealth behind as well. I believe infinite banking, Melissa, helps you leave generational wealth to at least 3 to 4 generations from you today, and that's what the purpose is all about. Now let's talk about our philosophy. Our philosophy is more money doesn't get or keep you out of a financial situation. Only financial education does. And I know that we've gone to school and we've gotten our fundamental education, our scholar education for our special knowledge on how we make our dollars. But, Melissa, so many of us that's making good money out there and on our way to making good money don't have the financial education to keep the money. And I was taught and told that if you don't have the financial education when it comes to your money, those that do know how to get to your money and get it from you as well. And so we under the concept of to knowing the truth about money by knowing what's going on, then you know what to do. And so that's what we do here. Once we've gotten this information over the last decade, we're crisscrossing across America, making sure everybody that's serious about their financial future is getting this information and having the resources where we've gathered our information so that you don't take just our word for it. We need you to be resourceful as well. So that's a resource to get to the resources, if that makes sense. And then last but not least is our vision. Our vision is to help one become financially educated and aware of what's going on, what's truly going on, to be able to prosper. So education and awareness to allow you to prosper. Everybody deserves that, especially if you're serious and you're paying attention, but you don't know what to pay attention to. That's what CORE is here for.
Wow. And I love that. And one of the biggest things I love about CORE is what that is the creed. And when I heard the creed that CORE has, trust God, love people, use money, just to know that we stand first truly on God's, just knowing that God is first in this. And in the process of doing that, we're going to love on God's people. We're going to show them why we love on them. We're going to show them how to use money. Because I say you and LaToya because that's where the foundation of this started with you both. You know, you've been in the industry before of multi-level marketing, people helping people's business, and you saw the ups and downs of how money came in, but also how money went out. When you both decided to really utilize first, trust God, love people, use money, what brought that about for you to be able to build CORE on that strong foundation?
Sure. That's a great question. The reason why, we adopted that and made it our creed at CORE Financial Partners, and let's repeat it again, trust God, love people, and use money. What we was living under the principles of, and where and most people around us, we was getting it mixed up. We was kind of, getting it twisted. What we normally do is we trust people, we use God, right, and we love money. And it's so funny, when we get a 911, that's when we're using God, right? That's why we say that. We don't honor him in everything that we do. We don't live in gratitude. To me, gratitude is up there with love. And, we had to reverse that. We had to say, okay, we can't love money, right? We got to use money and keep it in its prospective place. Money is just the in-between of getting to what you desire and what you need and what you want. So we said, look, let's love on people. Let's love on people any way. Because one thing we know, Melissa, as believers, is that everybody has their shortcomings. No one is holy, under the sun. No one. Everybody has faults. Everybody has ways that we offend each other and we don't even know. And so what I've learned through that is to have patience, and through patience I can love on somebody, right? Regardless of being offended at times or not being heard or not being understood, right? We have to understand be understood. And I had to learn that, and I learned it the hard way, being in so many organizations, being a leader in so many organizations. It had to change somehow, or I would have been working only by myself, and I can't do that. I know it's meant for us to be in the realm of greatness, and greatness, which Scripture talks about, greatness is the service to many, and I'm here to serve, and I love that, and that's my purpose.
I love it. Again, you are tuned into Women Emerge with Melissa Lambert. I am your host, and it's always an honor and a privilege to have TonyChamblee, the CEO and the president of Core Financial Partners. And we are going to dive in very soon on talking about the process to become your own bank using steps such as earn, save, borrow, spend, and repay. But before you go into that, I love the way you ended this former conversation, because one of the things that I know Core prides itself on is focusing on impacting our community through financial education. And also, Core prides ourselves in helping individuals, families, and entrepreneurs employ the concept of infinite banking with every one of our clients. We say at Core, they become our crusade. Why do you guys, why do we, I can say we because I'm a corepreneur, y'all.
That's right.
Listen.
That's right.
Why do we stand on this knowing that our clients now become our crusade?
Yes, it's our crusade. That goes as our crusade because we realize most of us, and I mean most, don't get the truth about money. We've been living on the premises of financial indoctrination versus financial true education, right? And so you could be working very diligently and doing good in society, right? And everything is seeming as though it's going the right way. Blindly and quietly is going the opposite way. And if somebody doesn't tell the truth, who will? When will we know, right? And that's why we said on the last podcast, if what you thought was true wasn't true, how soon would you want to know? And we're here, Melissa, as corepreneurs, we call ourselves, to go tell the world the truth. And so our crusade, which is helping people out with their goals, is all about that, right? Because so many people are doing well. Some people want to do well. But if you're under the wrong direction and the wrong things to focus on and the truth about how it really works, you're gonna, it's like the hamster wheel going real fast but going nowhere, being in a hamster wheel. And that's how I feel. That was the vision I had with this. All my friends, and I mentioned this before, all of my friends that, quite a bit of us, we finally arrived. At least we thought we did financially. But as fast as we got to those milestones, we went backwards quickly, right? Quickly. Even in those that maintain it, right, are losing unknowingly, unnecessarily the wealth that they have obtained so far. And so our crusade is to reverse that and give the truth and show where they can make a difference going forward.
Wow. And I love that we're starting a crusade. And I remember when I think of a crusade, it's crazy, right? I think about Billy Graham, right? When they, Billy Graham and all the big time, people that really go forth and bring forth all these, the word of God all over the world. That's what I see here in the United States, Core doing, literally beginning to do the impact. And we're starting together, Tony. We're starting together on our live, on the YouTube, on this podcast, and we're spreading it.
Right.
The corepreneurs in different states are just talking about it, doing private, sessions and having the conversation, because we gotta have the conversation. Because if we're not going to do it, guess what? We're going to still stay in the not knowing that we are being robbed the truth about money and
right.
how we can be in control of something we work so hard for. We work so hard for this one thing, and to be able to give it away freely to somebody else that takes our control out of our own hands. So let's go deeper now into the process. We're talking about infinite banking. For those who are listening, they may not understand what is infinite banking concept, or why do we say become your own bank. Can you just elaborate on what is becoming your own bank and the infinite banking concept?
Becoming your own bank and the infinite banking concept is really controlling the finances in your life, right? Being the bank, right? Not just banking at the bank, you being the bank. So you can be the person that's depositing withdrawing, giving loans out and having repaid loans back. It's all your system. And when you're in control, the one who's in control, right, is the one that can leverage. And this allows you to leverage your money versus using it. How many times do we build up, significant amount of income or savings or whatever you want to call it, just to spend it back down because of a need, want, or desire that came about? Capital purchases, major capital purchases normally cost a few $1,000s. And how many times are we going to do that throughout a year's time? Infinite banking, or become your own banker, allows you to leverage your money versus using it. So it allows you to be in control and allows you to now really have it grow exponentially into the future. And that's why, and we truly believe this, you can take care of the next 3 to 4 generations knowing how to leverage it and how to make it work for you and your family's ultimate goal. Yeah,
I agree. And, the person that can say that actually does, that can say it really does give you the extension from generation to generation is the Rockefeller. Our newest video on corefinancialpartners.com, we reveal how the Rockefellers did it. And they are the ones that you can kind of really see that trickle down effect that we are about to create for families that look like ourselves, families that we like, love, and trust, and families that really just want to be able to say, I want out of this rat race, So let's dig deeper, Mr. Chamblee, and let's go into the steps that it will take for them to be able to say they can use this process, becoming their own bank, and use it to earn money, to save money, to borrow from it, to spend it, but also show them how to also repay it. So to ask you about earning, right, what are some strategies to increase your earning potential in order to have more capital to invest in becoming your own bank? Because people want to do something like this, but they are thinking that they have to have so much money to start this type of bank, not understanding that we do have the capital is where we're going to move the capital so we can put it into this process. So what are some strategies to increase our earning potential in order to have more capital to invest in becoming your own bank?
Sure. Love that question. So let me break it down this way. Let's talk about earnings. How do one earn their worth, right? How do they earn money? How do they earn capital? One way, you can have a job, and most jobs pay you through a W-2. Second way, you can have a business where you can earn from a 1099 or incorporation, right? And another way, and is probably one of the better ways, is have an asset, right? An investment that is an asset that pays you, when you're not even having to work it any longer. It's an income-producing asset, I love to call it. Another way would be you might have a retirement plan, like a pension that's paying you on a regular basis. So that's another way. The last way I would say that you can bring in money, you inherit it. You might have some sort of annuity that's being paid to you, or some sort of inheritance through a trust that's being paid to you. So that's another way. So those are the major ways that I can see how to earn money. Now, how do you increase earning your money? One of the ways is to add another skill set to what it is you do or what it is you want to do going forward. I believe you got to measure and identify what skill sets you have. I believe anybody can learn something if they put their mind to it and put their heart into it as well, and have discipline behind it. So add more skill sets, whatever that skill set is. Maybe it's a people skill set. Maybe, learning how to do what you have to do on social media. Maybe it's a leadership skill set. There's multitude of skill sets out there that I believe can help you be more of a sorted after commodity, and it allows you to quickly you will find a way to earn more money that way. Here's another way I would like to discuss, and that is earning more money from finding more money that you already have, but you're giving it away from yourself. We have a way we talk about this through a phrase called finding money you're losing unknowingly and unnecessarily. Let me get an idea what that is. We've studied this enough to know there's 5 different areas, Melissa, that people are losing money unknowingly, unnecessarily. with a consultant through CORE, we can help you reverse a lot of these. The first area in the most, I would say, found money would be the way we're paying taxes or the way we're giving them away money in taxes. Taxes is the number one wealth transfer, one of the wealth killers. And that's why a lot of wealthy people spend money to save money on taxes. It's worth it. So taxes is the number one loss that could be reversed. The second loss that could be reversed, and it takes a little bit of information and education, and that is mortgages. Most people are losing money, right, unknowingly, unnecessarily in the way they pay their mortgage. So write this down. Found money is earned money, right? Found money is earned money. And it's a way to pay your mortgage now. It's a way to pay your mortgage off and still, recapture a lot of those dollars. And we know how to do that through infinite banking. Here's the third way. The third way people are losing money unknowingly, unnecessarily would actually be qualified plans, right? And I'm not here to debate with anybody about how qualified plans work and things of that nature, but here's the deal. If we don't know the strategy of how to properly fund and use money and leverage it for retirement or financial independence in a qualified plan, and you just enrolled automatically through your job, you're probably losing the money game. And so qualified plans is another area that you can find money unknowingly, unnecessarily. And each one could be a topic that we can do a podcast by itself, each and every last one of them. The fourth one would be college funding, the way we are in society here in America, how we're funding for college, right? And there's a different way. There's other options to fund college that you're now going to recapture your dollars. Because here's what most people are doing, Melissa. Most people, right, most individuals, right, are having to go and dig into their retirement to take care of college today, and normally they're within 15, 20 years of retirement. And now you got to work super hard. You got to almost quadruple your efforts to get back to where you were before your kids went to college, right? Especially you have multitude of kids going to college. So college is number 4. And the last one I would say that most people are losing money unknowingly, unnecessarily through their major capital purchases. Cars, vacation, education, anniversaries, things of that nature. So many of these ways, and I only went over 5 because I can go over 12 of them or more, but these are the major 5. When I look at somebody's portfolio that I'm working with, these are the first 5 I'm looking at because I'm telling you, over 90% of the time, I'm finding money for you. But here's the deal, right, which is going to be the next one we're going to be about to go over. I'm not going to go ahead, but I'm going to say this. If we find it, will you save it? Because found money not saved is not found money, if that makes sense. So, Melissa, hopefully that's clear, and that's what we do. And I believe it's important that most of us that have never heard that before get that information, because you don't have to go out and get a second job. It's the money you're making right now could be more income for you going forward.
Wow. Drop the mic. I mean, that was so powerful, and I want people to really hear the passion of Tony, because one of the things that especially when he says this, I believe truly that I've found my passion and my purpose in this industry of financial education. And I love how you mentioned to add another skill set to do for us moving forward, identify your skill set. And I like how you say, put discipline behind it. Whatever you can put discipline behind can really maximize your full potential. So we talked about the strategies to increase in earning potential. What earnings we talked about: job, business, assets, investment, which is income producing, retirement plan, inheritance, such as a trust. And I love how you said something, because people don't realize that, we can help you find what we can to help you, expand on, your investment and becoming your own bank. But when we do find that for you, I love your last statement. If we find it, will you save it?
That's right.
So that brings me to my second question. How can we effectively save a portion of our income is to begin the process of funding our personal banking system.
Sure. The way you want to see, one, is have the mindset, if you're not doing this already, for those that I'm speaking to, if you're doing this already, I'm not speaking to you, pay yourself first. Pay yourself first, please, right? If you pay yourself first and you allow it to develop and grow over time, it'll be a habit. Think about if you pay yourself first with 10%. One thing I've learned through me having multitude of jobs and multitude of businesses, I'm going to adjust my life to whatever income is coming in. So if you almost play a mind game and say, look, this 90% is all I make, I'm going to save 10%, right? And then increase it to 15. Then when you get it down, the more you can, bring down your lifestyle, right? And it's not so much bring down your lifestyle. I don't like that. I don't like telling someone, Melissa, that, stop going out to Starbucks and stop hanging out with your spouse over the weekend, things of that nature. I don't believe in that. I believe in bringing more money and finding more money. I believe in adding another skill set. Get a small business. Get a home-based business. Earn more money that way, right? So in doing that, pay yourself first, right? And then paying yourself first, whatever that amount is, even if you start off with 5% of your income, we're going to adjust. You're going to adjust because if a job or a position was taken away from you and you got downsized and they decrease your income, you'll adjust. You'll make it work. Your family will still have a roof over their head and still eat, right? And that's what I believe. That takes a little mind game along with discipline to be able to do that. So saving is just really as simple as paying yourself first. This is what I've done with a lot of clients, and if this has to be the way you do it, that's fine. What we do when someone says, look, I understand this, I'm going to stop funding my qualified plan. I'm not saying everybody do that. Make sure you get with the person that's working with you. Everybody, it depends on how to do it. But let's say we show you and you see, I'm going to stop paying my qualified plan or partial of it. Maybe you overfunding it. The match is only 5 and you're doing 10%. Whatever it is. Let's get back to that later. What I'm saying here is you're used to that coming out of your income before you see it, right? Before it hits the net part of your income, a qualified plan comes out of your growth. So you don't even see it. It's like out of sight, out of mind. And so you are like clockwork. You almost forget that you're doing it every month and every year. Do the same thing with this. Some employers will allow you to allocate a certain part of your income. You can say 5%, 10% go to this account, 50% go to that account. If you could do that, oh my gosh, I would do that all day long. Allow what percentage you want to start with to go to a separate account and forget about it. Only allocate that account for this. And so get ahead of yourself about a month or two and then start having this automatically come out every single month. It's going to end up being out of sight. It's the same thing you're doing with our qualified plans. And so to me, if you are of the right discipline yet, and that's fine. That was me at one time. So getting it out of sight and out of mind and let it automatically be paid into a certain account, and then the insurance company is automatically going to draft it out of that account every month could be a way to go as well. So to me, you can save that way. You can save by also taking what you're already doing and just transferring over here, right? You might be already saving in a CD or money market account or just a regular savings account or checking account. Just transfer the money over here. That's all. If you knew the difference in the gains you're going to get, if you knew the difference on to be able to leverage the money, and we're not going to get into that right now, you would do it in a heartbeat. You would do it without questioning, right? Your money is buying more benefits for you that you do not have sitting in any of these traditional accounts. And so saving is a mindset. Saving is a commitment, right? Saving is saying, I treasure me more than I treasure all of these, different creditors that I owe, right? Because that's still going to be there, right? That's going to still be there. I'm always asking Melissa, what's the allocation of paying myself versus paying my debt? It depends. It depends on your relationship with money and how we're going to get you where you need to be to see what the allocation should be. Everybody's different. There's no one answer to that. So Lisa, hopefully it's helpful when it comes to that question of saving. I just believe that here's the deal. I'm going to say this last. I believe if you get to the place of you're saving 20% of your income and you don't have to have an explosion, you're not looking for the grand slam on a rate of return on your money, and you just save about 20%. We all can get to 20%. Trust me, we can. You're going to be ready for financial independence in the time period that you should be ready. That's what I believe. I think everybody want to build up to 20%. And if that's not you right now, I'm not saying don't just go ahead and start there in cold turkey. Build your way up there, up to that place if you're not there now. But that is, to me, over all the years I've been doing this, that is the sweet spot, 20% of your income.
Wow. I love this. It goes, again, back to what? Discipline. And if you're not disciplined, I love how we can actually help with that. That is why I truly believe becoming your own banker really, truly kind of will help a person that is not truly disciplined to do the 10%, to pay themselves to themselves. Let us take it out of your account for you. Let us it's like set it and forget it type of deal. Autopilot it so you can be able to over time see the growth. And even as you spoke, I thought I was reminded of what really helped me on my journey. And I'm going to actually start back this process, which is 20-70-10. 20% I'm going to start basically my savings in. 70% I'm going to live off, and 10% I'm giving back to God or giving back to a charitable organization. 20-70-10. If you can live by the 20-70-10 rule, it helps you in tremendous ways because, 1, 20% you're paying yourself first. As Mr. Chamblee just spoke about, 70% put everything into your livelihood where you're able to say, I have 70% of my income being able to fuel and feed what my lifestyle look like. And 10% give it back over to God or to whatever your charitable organization is, because I always believe once you give back to somebody, good measure comes back to you, pressed down. That's what the word says, shaking together, and it shall run over to you. So I love the concept that you just mentioned. If you can't start at 20, start at 10. Paying, if you work so hard for it, why can't you pay yourself first?
That's right.
Why are we working just to pay somebody else while we are the one that's laboring for that money to come into our household? So thank you, Mr. Chamblee, for helping us understand the importance of us really understanding the first person you should pay. Other than God, you pay yourself first. So now let's lead into the third step. We're talking about, again, the process to become your own bank using the steps. Earn, which we just covered. Save, we just covered that. Now let's go into borrow. How does borrowing from your bank differ from taking a traditional loan from a financial institution?
Okay, what is the difference? I'm going to do it in broad strokes. I'm going to do it from a 35,000-foot view. The difference is, 1, you're the bank. You're the owner of your own bank. You control the banking function in your life and your business. That's number 1. The difference also is you are guaranteed a loan, right? Because you're the decision maker. If you're the decision maker, whenever you're going to deny yourself, right? As long as you have the capital in there and you've done the first 2 steps, you earn the money and you save the money, you put money in there, up to 92% could be borrowed against, right? And it's like a line of credit. If you have $10,000 in there and you use 7, you got 3 to use again until you pay the 7 back down, right? You write this down. Collateral capacity. Collateral capacity. What is that? How much do I have left to get a second, third, fourth loan with? Because if I have $10,000 in there or $100,000 and I use 40% of it, you still have 60% left, 92% of it, right? You can be paying that down and still using calling for another loan, right? So keep that in mind. The next thing that the biggest difference is, right, you don't have to qualify for it. It's guaranteed because you don't have to qualify for it. You don't have to look at your FICO score to see do I have credit worthiness in order to get a loan, right? You determine that without reading your looking at the 3 credit bureaus or whatever bureaus that most bankers look at. You don't have to worry about the debt-to-income ratios, those that are in the real estate business, right? The debt-to-income ratio won't hurt you at all. If you want to flip a house or finance a house that you want to invest in, it's up to you. How large of capital funding could you allow to get from yourself, right? So that's all totally up to you. Also, you are guaranteed the profit off of your own banking. Guaranteed the profit. It is impossible for it to go in reverse and dig into your principal, right? There's no volatility. There's no, worrying about capital gain taxes. Even on savings accounts or money market accounts, we're paying capital gains taxes. They might be very small if you don't have a lot of money in there, but the thing about it, it's going in reverse. It's digging into your money. That doesn't happen when you are your own banker. And here's the most important one, Melissa. You can leverage your money and not use it, right? How many times are we going to build up our capital and build up our cash, life savings, right, just for something to come up that we have to spend it down? Even in retirement, you don't have to spend this money down if you know how to work it properly. Think about it. You're in retirement now or, financial independence now, and you're still growing your capital for every dollar, every dime, because you're leveraging it. The insurance company is in partnership with you, and they lend the money from their account, not yours. Your $100,000 is still there and growing uninterrupted, right? I can go on and on the difference. You get paid dividends with these accounts. You get guaranteed returns. It never can go in reverse. So I'm going to stop there, Melissa. The difference, you don't get all that in a traditional bank. That's all I know, unless my name is on that building, and I haven't seen that happen yet, other than where IBC allows me to do it at my discretion. And think about it. Here's the last thing I'm going to say. If you don't know this, please hear this clearly, that when you partner with an insurance company, a life insurance company, it has to be mutual insurance company. Do you know the hired help has been already done for you? It's just like you starting a traditional bank for like a Citizens Bank or Bank of America or TD Bank or whatever it might be, Chase Bank. Do you know they all has gone through a lot of channels to hire people to run the company? How about the hired help is already with the mutual insurance company? Because as soon as you sign to be a policy holder, you're part owner of the business of a business such as a mutual insurance company, and the hire has already been done. The accounting is already there. The actuaries and the rate makers are already there. And that's a beautiful thing to be able to buy into, and you don't have to have millions of dollars to buy into it. It's just about understanding the concept, embracing it, and taking ownership of it.
Ooh. Again, you are tuned into Woman Emerge with Melissa Lambert. This show, oh my gosh, I get excited every time TonyChamblee is in the building. This show is being sponsored by Lambert Legacy Financial, powered by Core Financial Partners. And we are truly excited because why we exist, because we are dedicated to bring financial awareness to the community through infinite banking concept, which we're talking about today. We teach the truth about money, empowering individuals to think about and plan their legacy. Our vision is to be a beacon of financial education, transforming lives by instilling knowledge and confidence in financial planning. We aim to create a community where everyone is equipped to build and sustain a legacy for generations to come. We have the honor to have Mr. TonyChamblee, the CEO and the president of Core Financial Partners, who is here, and we're talking, yes, the truth about money, the process to become your own bank using the steps: earn, save, borrow, spend, and repay. We already talked about earn. We already talked about save. We just finished borrow. So, Mr. Chamblee, Tony, tell us, how can you use the funds you borrow from your personal bank to finance large purchases or investment?
Sure. I like the way you put it, large purchases, because it's not, you really don't want to get this set up and use it for like ATM money, like you're going to go do groceries or something like that. What you really want to use it for is, we call it major capital purchases, MCP. And what that is, this is how you qualify a major capital purchase. You qualify a major capital purchase of something that you would have to dig into your savings for, or finance, or use credit for, right? Think about, what do you normally finance, use credit for, right, or get some kind of note for, whether it's a car, a vacation, a holiday, an event you're overseeing, or you're throwing, anything that you normally go dig into that stash that you've been building up, or you go and liquidate some of your investments to take care of. You think about that. You know, you might have a family member that passes away, and they didn't have any sort of life insurance, and you have to dig into your stash to help the family out. Things of that nature. Somebody in your family, you know, especially when you get of age to a certain point, and you want to help your kids out in life starter money, or they reaching back and they know their parents has been good with money, you want to be there. To me, you express love when you have this stash and you know you're not going to lose any momentum and velocity to your money growth. When you know they can borrow from you. So to me, spending it is taking major capital purchases and not being afraid to separate it, not separating yourself from it, but leverage it and go do those things, or help those that you love do those things, right? And this is what I suggest to you. When you help those do these things of spending it through your banking system, have them set up a payment plan to pay you back, right? Because to me, an honest banker, you don't want to just give money away, right, unless it's a gift. You want, if you're doing this with your kids, or you're doing this with someone that needs money, maybe you're almost doing a loan shark to them. I didn't say that right, but you're almost being that financial support to someone that wants to get into an investment, or get into a business that needs money, and you want to support them. You can set up a repay back with them as well. You can do their accounting. It's not that complicated. Get with the person that you're working with, and they'll show you how to do that, right? We have calculators for everything, right? Here's the investor side. If you're an investor under the sound of my voice, right, this is what we're taught to us. Rule number one, never use your own money in any type of investment that's going to have any level of risk to it, right? When somebody else is going to give you their money at a lower cost than the growth of your money, it's called economic value added, you never use your money. You never use your money. So if you're going to go into the stock market and you have a choice to use somebody else's money, you take that deal. If you have the choice to be a Forex trader, why use your money when somebody else is ready to give you their money? If you want to get into real estate and you want to, invest into a property that you can flip and get a return on, or buy the house, build it up, make it look good and sell it, or you can even, sell it, that's flipping it. Or you might say, look, I want to keep this unit and I want to rent it out. Hey, no matter what you're doing, you want to start a laundromat down the street, you want to own a vending machine, it doesn't matter, right? That's going back up to earning. Why put risk at your dollar when somebody else says, I give you my money, guaranteed, and you still to get a higher return than it's costing you to borrow my money? I'm taking that deal every single day, Melissa. There's no question about it. That's why deals come to me all the time, and they know me too. They know that I'm going to give it a serious look, and I'm going to consider, because guess what? I have that banking position, because all we got to do is go look in the mirror and say, self, do we want to invest in that property? Do we want to invest in that stock? Do we want to invest in that crypto? It's up to you. You have 100% autonomy of that. You can't do that with the regular banks.
I love how you say self. Do you want to do this right now?
That's right.
I mean, that's the power of control. When you can look yourself in the mirror and say, self, do you want to invest with this right now? The power of control. So we're about to wrap up. We're on the last statement. I mean, we have really been going in on the process to become your own bank using the steps earn, save, borrow, spend. Now let's talk about repay. How does repaying a loan to your bank work? And what are the advantages of paying yourself back with interest?
Well, I think I'm going to do it different this time, at least in explaining this. I'm going to tell the story on how to become your own bank, right? Right. This is the best way to understand it and pay yourself back, to see the value of paying yourself back. Hopefully everybody under the sound of my voice know what the rule of 72 is how compound interest works. Whatever interest rate you're assuming, you divide it into the number 72. It tells you how long it takes your money to double, right? So in other words, if you have 10% rate of return growing your money, and you divide 10 into 72, 10 goes into 72, 7.2 times. I just wanted to quickly go over that. We have to understand how money works and to see how the compound can work for us or against us, right? So now we got that down. Now, let's say you're your own bank. You're owning your own bank. You don't understand this yet, and you don't have a mutual insurance company that has hired help waiting for you to enroll to be a partner. You don't have that yet. And you're going to bank under your own mattress. And Melissa, you want to bank under your own mattress, and you said, look, I'm good with this, with putting money away, and I'm going to do easy math so it can be easy understood. You're saving under your mattress $100 a month. You're sliding under your mattress. And you said, look, after 1 year, I've saved $1,200. It could be $12,000, though, if we did $1,000. We only do it with $100, though. So you put away $1,200. Now you want to celebrate. You've done this for a year. You say you and your significant other or your boo want to go away for the weekend. You say, look, I'm going to use some of this money, right? I did a great job of putting it away. You're real happy about that. And you take your boo away for the weekend. And you said, when we get back, we got to be disciplined. I'm going to be disciplined at least. And I'm going to put some installments. I'm going to make an installment plan to pay my money back that I just took out. Let's say you use $1,000 of your $1,200 you saved. Here's how it all works. You're still paying yourself $100 a month. That is nothing to do with the debt you just got yourself in, based off borrowing from yourself. So you're still paying back the $100. You're still paying yourself in savings $100 a month. But you say, you know what? I want to pay $100 a month in addition to me saving because I got to put back and pay myself back because I borrowed from myself, right? See, banking is a concept. It's a flow of cash that meets a need at a cost. I'm going to say it again. It's a flow of cash that meets a need at a cost. What we normally do, we go dig into our savings and don't look at it as a bank, and so you're not paying yourself back with interest. The cost of borrowing money is with the interest cost. So here's the deal. You borrowed $1,000. You're going to pay back $100 a month for 10 months. Are you banking yet? No, you are not banking. No. It has to be done at a cost. So you say, look, if I had borrowed from the bank, they would have charged me a certain amount for borrowing from them, so I'm going to charge myself at least 10%. So if you charge yourself 10%, watch this. You're going to pay back 10% of $1,000. That could be $1,100. So there's a couple ways you can pay it back, Melissa. You can pay it back an extra payment at the end of the 10 months. You put back the $1,000 and you pay a 11th payment and you pay back $1,100. But I find it work better this way. Here's the better way to understand it. You just put an extra $10 to your $100 you're paying back already to your loan. So if you're paying back $100 in installments, say, can my pocketbook afford an extra $10 on my wallet? Yes, you can. So you pay back $110 for 10 months. You just put back $1,100. You just paid yourself a 10% growth in return on your money. Guess who was the bank in that whole situation? You were. You instigated, you instilled, you perpetrated as a bank, and you was able to get the bank profits like the banks normally get. Now, here's the deal. If that's the case, Melissa, if you know that's the case, are you going to stop paying yourself only 10%? Because if you knew the math behind the rule of 72, let's say you said, I'm going to pay myself 18%. Credit cards are normally 18%. You're using this let's say using it as a credit card. If you put 18 divided into 72, Melissa, your money's going to double not every 7 years now, every 4 years, right? It was 7 years at 10%, just 8% more. You pay yourself back 8% more, 18% for the whole year. You will now double your money every 4 years. Would you rather your money to double, Melissa, every 7 years or every 4 years?
Every 4 years, absolutely.
No question about it. Every 4 years. Now think about it. All you did was say, I want to pay back not $110 a month for 10 months. It'd end up $1,100. I'm going to pay back $118 a month for 10 months. It'll be $1,180. That slight difference doubles your money 3 years faster. If you did that $1,000, that $1,000 you borrowed at one time every year to go on vacation away with your significant other or your boo or your spouse or whoever, and you did that one time a year, that money is going to double every 4 years with no question. It's math and not magic. And so, to me, if we understand that, are we going to stop at 10% or are we going to stop at 18%? You do what your pocketbook allows you to do, 20% if you can. Guess what interest rates are now with credit cards? I looked at some credit cards recently. 24 to 34% is credit cards now.
Wow.
Oh, don't be late 1 or 2 times. They're going to add interest to your credit card without even telling you, because they're the control of the bank. But when we control the bank, it's all up to us. And it's a beautiful thing that I used to give them the money, and now I'm giving our family banking system the money, right? Giving it to our ecosystem, right? And it goes out the way we want to. It comes in the way we want to. It grows the way we want it to. You have total control.
Wow. Total control. I mean, we have total control of our own money. And I just love how you said banking is a concept, a flow of cash that meets a need at a cost. And once we can learn how to flow this money for a greater cause, we can see a greater difference. So tell us, Mr. Chamblee, tell us, Tony, tell us how can we learn more? What can we read? How can we, really tune in with core financial partners?
First thing I'm going to refer or suggest everybody do to get connected to one of our trained consultants, right? We coined our consultants corpreneurs, right? So get with one of them. That's your number one resource. I can tell you that right now because they're well trained at this. The second resource would be to go get Nelson Nash book, Become Your Own Banker. He's the one that discovered this. There's other books out there, but we always want to go back to the original, where it comes from, because it's always watered down when other people are writing about this stuff. So go and get Nelson Nash's book, Become Your Own Banker. And you can go right to corereads.com, core, C-O-R-E, reads with an S.com. It's right there. It's the first book. Second book I would suggest that you get is The Path to Financial Peace of Mind by Dwayne Burnell. That book is the second book on the list. That was a pupil of Mr. Nash, and he wrote a masterpiece. When I first read that book, because I had already been training on it before I read that book with our agents and our firm, and I said he wrote it exactly the way I would have wrote it. That's how I love the way he wrote that book. It's for the layman, right? If you read Become Your Own Banker, it gets flustered a little bit. It's not clear. It's not being clear to you. Go get that other book real quick. Matter of fact, if I were you, if you can afford to, go get both books. Read both of them, and don't be. And I'm okay if. I think it's not bad for you to read The Path to Financial Peace of Mind if you haven't been diving into the financial industry with the language and stuff, because that book really breaks it down in layman's terms. But both of them are really easy reads. The Become Your Own Banker, Melissa, is only 92 pages. It could be a weekend. Somebody can have that book done and understood. The next thing I would say to do is go to learnmorewithcore.com. Learnmorewithcore.com. If you go there, if in addition to reading, well, you might be under the sound of my voice and you're not a reader. Go watch the videos. We have a video series there. We up to about 16, 17 videos, and most of them are only 2 to 4 minutes long. It'll break down different concepts, and it strings along the entire system of becoming your own banker. Okay, that's what I would suggest as well. If you're under the sound of my voice and you have debt, we talked about it earlier, right, about you can make money by finding money that you're losing unknowingly, unnecessarily. Go to coredebtstrategy.com, coredebtstrategy.com, and watch that quick video. It's no more than a little over 10 minutes long, right? Watch that. You're going to be blown away how you can erase all the debt you have, including your mortgage, and still grow your wealth with the same dollar. And I've seen people have 25 or longer years left on their mortgage, and it gets done within a 10-year period because the efficiency of how this is being done, it allows you to be efficient with your spending and getting rid of your debt as well. And I think that's, I think it was, if I'm forgetting any, Melissa, let me know. But if you have all that, please, I'm hopeful that you wrote it down. And this is, I know, something that you want to have and pass this over to other people. The thing we say always in any presentation I'm doing, because I do this all over the country, I do this on an often basis, and I love doing these talks to the point I'm not charging for them. The only thing I say in return, don't keep this a secret. Who do you know that's serious about their financial future and haven't heard it like this before? Please forward this information to them as well.
Wow. You heard it from the best. You heard it from TonyChamblee, the CEO and the president of Core Financial Partner. Thank you so much again, Tony, for always gracing this platform to really help us to understand the truth about money. Today's topic was the process to become your own bank using the steps: earn, save, borrow, spend, and repay. So if you haven't followed me as yet, please go ahead every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm here on the same radio, WomenEmergeRadio.com. You can find me on Facebook at Melissa, Mellisa Lambert. Also, you can find me on Facebook with my page, Lambert Legacy Financial. To tune in again, don't forget to tune in every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have Mr. Chamblee coming on again another Thursday, the last Thursday of this month. You got to check him out. He is powerful. And don't forget, we're going to be live on Friday on YouTube at Women Emerge Network, So thank you all for tuning in to Women Emerge with Melissa Lambert. If you found this helpful, not if, because it is helpful and because it was helpful for you, don't forget, just like Mr. Chamblee just said, share it with somebody you like, love, and trust, even your enemy. Let them know there is truth about money, and they need to find out how they can become their own bank. Until next time, y'all, take care, take charge, and thank you again, Tony, for being here. We truly appreciate you, sir.
It was my pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
You're so welcome. Everyone, take care, take charge, and continue to be great.
Thank you for listening to Women Emerge with Melissa Lambert, where Melissa speaks with leaders, experts, and motivators who share their journeys and their stories through personal and professional growth, knowledgeable tips, and lessons learned that will empower you to grow. Follow Melissa and Women Emerge Network on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at MELLISASLAMBERT and at Women Emerge Network. And visit www.womenemergenetwork.com. Remember, when you know better, you can do better, especially when God is for you.